What up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Lady Erica Lynn from Onside Kicking It. I'm kicking it in the house today, you guys, because in Richmond, VA, it's extremely hot. And it's too hot for your girl to be outside and putting on makeup and for me to be sweating and all that good stuff to be giving you some content. Mm-mm. I'm kicking it in the house today. Onside Kicking It was created not just to talk about X and O's. I'm not just sitting behind the desk. Well, today I'm sitting, but I'm not just sitting behind the desk. I'm gonna be outside. You never know where I'm gonna be, because here on Onside Kicking It, we don't play it safe. We onside kick it. So today I'm going to be talking about defense, because after listening to the defensive coaches last week after OTAs, I discovered something. I discovered that the secret to being physical doesn't begin just in a weight room. Let's talk about it, because I know you want to hear what I got to say, because it's not just helping the football team, but it's going to help you as fans to understand the mentality it takes to be a Washington Commander. Let's go. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to Onside Kicking It with your girl, Lady Erica Lynn, where we don't play it safe over here. We onside kick it. So as I told you before, we're going to be talking about the secret to playing physical isn't in the weight room. And these are things that I discovered when listening to the interviews of the defensive coaches. If you listen really closely, everybody is talking the same language. Nobody is going off key or off track. And so they interviewed a lot of different coaches. They interviewed William Gay. They interviewed Izzo, um, Pagano, and what's the other guy's name? The run game corner, defensive line coach, Eric Henderson. Y'all forgive me, I got my notes, but Eric Henderson talking. I love what he had to say. Um, but what I learned is their focus is competition, brotherhood, and I'll keep telling y'all versatility and mental toughness. Competition, competition, competition. I keep hearing it over and over and over again when I hear coaches from both sides of the ball talk about competition. And that's what I truly like about what AP and DQ has built in this organization, is they are not just letting the star players or whomever um, start. They're putting people in positions to be able to compete with one another. And whoever has the mental capacity and the toughness to be successful during these OTA sessions and during this upcoming mini camp, those are the people, those are the guys that they're going to put on the field. And the wonderful thing about it is we have depth. Finally, we finally have depth. And so even those guys are getting the ability to learn mental toughness, to learn what it means to have competition, to learn about the brotherhood in the Washington Commanders locker room. Each coach has the same message, but I love what Eric Henderson had to say. Eric Henderson is the defensive line coach, and he's also the run game coordinator. He had a lot to say. He actually started his he's been, well, I ain't gonna say started his career, but he used to be the USC co-defensive coordinator, and he was the defensive line coach for the Super Bowl winning Rams. Okay. A question was asked to him about what does he see. Does he see that this team has the championship pedigree to win? And he absolutely believes that we have the championship team to win. Like there was no question about it. One of the things that he says is that stands out to him, on the AP and DQ and Durante, is that the reputation that these guys have, with throughout the whole league, has been superb. And so that's why he decided to join the Washington Commanders, because of AP and DQ and what they are building. And so he was excited to even work with Durante Jones. Um, all the coaches are saying how excited they are to learn. Some of the coaches are even saying, wow, I wish I would have thought of that play, or I wish I would have thought of that scheme, or how they're going about training these guys, and how they're going about teaching these guys. And everybody's every coach is saying how Durante Jones is a great teacher, and they love working with him. Um, Also, they have um, a good deal of a good amount of players that are strong, smart, and fast. And what they want from these players is to be disciplined. They don't want them thinking when they're on the field. If you train yourself in the mental to have mental toughness, that's what I love. What I'm hearing about these OTA sessions, because when we see in these OTA sessions, we're seeing the guys flying around the field, making plays, um, doing their stretches, doing everything that they need to do on the field. But we're not actually seeing what's going on behind in the classroom. And so what they're doing is they are preparing these guys with the mental capacity to be able to have that dog mentality. And that's what Eric Henderson's mantra is: have that dog mentality. And I listened to On Defense podcast the other night when he interviewed Javon Kinlaw, and how he was talking about um, how hard they are working and how sore they are. And they, and then he talked about the camaraderie that these guys are having together, the brotherhood. You don't hear too many people talking about the brotherhood. You hear it from coaches and you hear it from players, but you don't hear too many people, like podcasters, talking about the brotherhood, talking about the culture that they are building, talking about having the mental toughness. And that's what I love, because we're going to be able to see that if you can train yourself mentally to have that mental toughness. And he also talked about it's bigger than football. It's even, you can apply it to your daily life. And so they're not just helping these guys as ball players, they're helping these guys at home, in life. And that's great to hear. And so that's what I like to talk about. I like to talk about the culture. I like to talk about the brotherhood. I like to talk about the leadership that's happening right in front of our eyes. And sometimes we don't look at that, because as fans, we want to see the splash plays and what JD is doing, and what Javon Kinlaw is doing, and how is Deron Payne is going to affect the game this year, because he's up for a contract again this year. So everybody's talking about all this other stuff. Let's talk about the mental capacity it's going to take to win, because y'all know we got tough games in the very beginning. And so if you prepare yourself in the very beginning, during these training camps, during mini camp, during OTAs, in the classroom, building relationships, that's all they talked about. They talked about building relationships. They talked about mental toughness. Once they master that, that physicality is going to be shown on the field. I don't know about you, but that makes me excited, because you're building something here. You're building a winning championship team. And that's all we as fans want, is to see them win, right? I love listening to other people talk about the X's and O's and everything like that, and what the players are bringing to the table, and how they're going to affect the game, and what wide receiver is going to dominate, who's going to be wide receiver one, who's going to be wide receiver two, who's going to be in our secondary. Talking about Trey Amos and who's going to be on the other side of him. We have to Let's focus right now on what is happening right now, and not even focus on what is going to happen on the field. We can focus on that, but they're doing is preparing these guys to be dominant, to be physical, to be attacking on the field on both sides of the ball. So I just wanted to talk to you about what it takes to be dominant on the field and the secret that that they have. They're giving us the secret right now, and that's focus, competition, brotherhood, versatility, and mental toughness. Let's applaud our fellas for being able to have that mindset to go in each and every day and attack each and every day so that they can be able to attack on the field, right? So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of the love and support. I have some personal things going on in my life right now, some loss in the family, and so I'm helping family and things like that. So I appreciate the love and support. I may not be on as much as I used to be because I'm dealing with some things personally. But I thank you for all the love and support that you have shown. You guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, next week I can talk to you more, especially now that mini camp is getting ready to start this week. And I'm excited to see how that mental toughness is going to show up in mini camp. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.